Hi, I'm Jody Christopherson, the artistic director of the SoFi Festival and the producer of Sofariety, the SoFi Festival's online variety show for isolated times, coming to you from New York. Thanks for joining us. We have so many great artists to share with you this evening, documenting these times that we're in. And I am so grateful to all of you for tuning in and sharing this space with us this evening. It's really great to have a place we can all still come together and, share in each other's energy. I look forward to a day when we can all do that again safely in person. If you have the means, this evening we have a tip jar for our artists who have been affected by COVID, either by losing their jobs or having canceled gigs. Anything at all that you can place in that tip jar is immensely helpful. Thank you so much to everybody who has already done that. And if you are not in a position to do that, we totally feel you. So don't worry about it. And enjoy the show and know that you are giving so much just by showing up and being a part of this. It really means a lot to us. Thanks and have a great evening.
Have you heard about the flour shortages? The last time I went to the grocery store, I noticed that there was a lack of unbleached flour. The only flour that I could find was bleached flour and whole wheat. And the only reason that I knew that is because I was going to the store to get some flour so I could do some baking. Apparently, a lot of people had the same idea. And I was like, why is that? I think it's because at a time of uncertainty and discomfort, we turn to something that's familiar and probably to some comfort food. I know I do. The last baked good I had that I did not make for myself was a scone from Alice's Teacup in New York, and it was delicious and amazing. I had tea and clotted cream and I felt properly British. It was amazing. And then I had to make a quick turnaround back to Georgia because of everything that was happening. But I was like, I could make my own scones, even if I can't find good scones in Georgia, or I can't go out and get scones, I can make my own. So I started baking them, and this past weekend is my third time baking scones. It was for my grandmother. She wanted scones with nuts in them, and I was like, okay, Grandma, that's what I'll do. So I made a lemon poppy pecan scone. They were delicious. But yeah, just kind of thinking about the idea of baking and what I've been doing, it reminded me of a song. So I guess that brings me to the song that I'll be singing for today, which is What Baking Can Do from Waitress.
Make it work, make it easy, make it clever, craft it into pieces, make it sweet, crimp the edges, or make it sour and serve with lemon wedges. Even doubt can be delicious, and it washes off of all the dirty dishes. When it's done, I can smile. It's on someone else's plate for a while. I'll place it on display, and then I'll slice and serve my worries away. I can fix this, I can twist it into sugar, butter covered pieces. Never mind what's underneath it. I have done this before. I'll bake me a dough to help me get through. I learned that from you, Mama. It's amazing what baking can do. Make it up, then surprise them. Tell them all my secrets, but disguise them so they dance on the tongues of the very people that their secrets from. Make it soon, make it better. No, better never lasts forever. I'll make it slow, as the walls come tumbling down, even as I can't stop remembering how every door we ever made, we never once walked out. Something I never got the chance to ask her about. So with flour on my hands, I'll show them all how goddamn happy I am. Sugar, butter, flour, don't let me down. Let's see the next amazing thing baking does now.
Ahoy there, me fellow quarantine shipmates. Today, we embark on a daring voyage to conquer me own personal white whale, whipped aquafaba. And what is aquafaba, you ask? Aquafaba, 'tis the golden liquid comes from this hair can of chickpeas that is legendary for producing whipped egg whitey goodness without any eggs. For many years, success has eluded me, but now I possess the power of the milk frother, so I can get the aquafaba to peaked whippy goodness. Join me today on a voyage of vegan baked goods to succeed in making coconut macaroons. Swerve me, the path to my fixed purpose is laid with vegan rails, whereon my soul is grooved to run over unsound gorges, through riffled hearts of the kitchen. Under torrents beds unerringly I whip, knots and obstacle, knots and angle to the iron away. Aye, it was that cursed aquafaba that raised me, made me a poor pegging lubber of me forever and a day. Aye, I'll whip it around this bowl and round the internet and round YouTube and round Instagram before I give it up. And this is what ye are shipped for, you viewers. To chase that aquafaba on both sides and all sides of the internet till she spouts the white peaks and whips up. Oh, lonely chef on quarantined lonely life. Oh, now I feel my topmost cooking greatness lies in my topmost grief, that I will not be able to share any of this with you. Ho, ho, from all your furthest bounds pour ye now in, ye bold comer of my death. Toward thee I bake, thou all-destroying but unconquering aquafaba. To the last I grapple with thee. From hell's heart I stab at thee. For hate's sake I spit my last breath at thee. Sink all internet cooks and bakers in one common pool, and since neither can be mine, let me then go to pieces while still chasing thee, thou tied to thee that damned Aquafaba. Thus I give up the frother. And though Captain Ahab went down with his ship in his pursuit of his white whale, I stand before you a conqueror.
I feel like a wizard.
Hi, Sofi. My name is Kacey and Anisa Stamats. I've been making these videos to explore nature and the new reality of what it's like to be outside now. How beautiful things are, but also what we're going through. And also because whenever I make a selfie video, this happens. The world needs now love, sweet love. Nothing. There's just too little love. That's Chris Becker. He's pretty much always over my shoulder. He's always there.
Bipolar disorder affects about 2.3 million Americans. While almost 50% of the population experiences mental illness during their lifetime, only 1% of the population experiences bipolar. There are 3 types of bipolar: type 1, type 2, and cyclothymia. I've adapted these definitions from the National Institute of Mental Health website, and they are as follows. People with bipolar 1 experience periods of mania lasting at least 7 days, or mania that is severe enough to warrant a hospital stay, and periods of depression that last for a minimum of 2 weeks. I have bipolar 2, which is characterized by shorter, lighter manias called hypomania and longer periods of depression. Bipolar 2 is not a less severe condition because depression and rapid mood swings can lead to suicidality. Cyclothymia is defined by periods of hypomania and depression lasting for a minimum of 2 years in adults and 1 year in children. However, the symptoms don't meet the diagnosis of full-blown manic, hypomanic, or depressive episodes. Some people may experience symptoms that aren't as well defined, and they're labeled with other specified and unspecified bipolar and related disorders. For me, hypomania feels like I've had too much caffeine. My heart beats faster, my sight is sharper, my speech is pressured, and all my moods are elevated. When I'm manic and happy, it feels like an extended orgasm. When I'm manic and restless, it feels like my soul is itching. When I'm manic and irritable, everything is out to ruin my day. And when I'm manic and scared, it's an automatic anxiety attack. These feelings make me sleepless and energized, but later leave me exhausted. They're usually followed by brief periods of normalcy before I slip back into a deep depression. When I described these symptoms to a friend, he likened it to an acid trip. My brain is tripping all on its own. Many people associate bipolar with homicide. Many people have similar feelings towards people with schizophrenia and borderline personality disorder. Many people are wrong and don't know that we're statistically more of a danger to ourselves than other people. When I take my pills and get plenty of sleep, I can live a depressed and anxious, but otherwise normal life. When I forget a dose, stay up too late, or experience extreme stress, I can have episodes of mania. The episode that got me diagnosed as bipolar went as follows. I was a senior in college, clinically depressed and chronically stressed. One night when I was walking home, a man drove past and shouted, "Go home, monkey!" At that moment, I had a decision. I could be angry and upset about one more thing, or I could fill my heart with love. I chose the latter. I was not a monkey. I was a brilliant human being who understood their fear and economic anxiety and would not be affected by it. Racism would not get me down. I chose to be up. I returned home and stayed up all night, cleaning my room, incandescently happy. For 2 days, it felt like my life was moving in fast forward, a welcome change from depression's slow motion. When I was depressed, I'd masturbate to feel lucid. The up made my cheeks hurt from smiling. When I was depressed, each sentence came heavy and slow, but the up made my conversation ebullient. When I was depressed, I craved loneliness and would stare at a blank wall for hours. But the up showed me the truth. I could never be alone because my molecules were vibrating. I was on the same frequency as the flowers and the trees and the grass, and all I needed to do was peel off my skin and release myself into the universe. That was when I realized something was wrong. I had been suicidal on and off since 4th grade, but had always held myself back for fear of harming others. That counterweight was gone. I had never been so happy wanting to die before. Suicide was not only attractive, it was logical. I cried in a friend's arms, then went to my therapist. She called my psychiatrist. I snatched the phone out of my therapist's hand so I could speak to the psychiatrist myself. Everyone, including me, was stunned at my brazenness. After a swing back into depression, a promise not to kill myself, and a police visit to reinforce my promise, I was allowed to stay in school and out of the hospital. Antipsychotics were added to balance out my antidepressants, and I've been on them ever since. I've had my share of dissociative episodes too, most notably when I derealized on a train platform in March. COVID-19 was closing its fist around the country. My outside life was threatening to collapse, and suddenly I stopped feeling. I went away. I couldn't feel my feet on the floor. I couldn't feel my tongue in my mouth. When I dropped my phone into my purse, it felt like I was falling into a void. It felt like I wasn't really around, like I was living in a dream, like I was still in bed. I spent much of that evening at my boyfriend's parents' house, trying to appear normal. I spent the rest of the night in bed, in a tunnel of blankets, letting myself come back. 2 weeks ago, I stayed up too late and forgot my medication. That night, I saw green spots on the wall. They were large and ominous. All morning I was restless, all seeing, all fearing. That afternoon, as I edited my sister's paper, the screen began to waver and change. Out of nowhere, an image flashed up from my childhood, a pink container. The container tasted smooth and cool against my tongue, and I was back in my playroom again. But I'm 31 and afraid. COVID has proven a strange accelerant to my mania. Being cooped up in the house has scratched an agoraphobic itch, but the change in weather makes me agitated. I worry for my family, as we are statistically more likely to die from COVID than other racial groups. I'm forgetful, I have headaches, I cry and take pills and fall asleep around 3 a.m. I'm kin to 1% of the population, friend to the 50%, and I feel our aloneness together. Many people say they're going mad, but we unhappy few know what that's like.
Okay, so, and 3, 2, 1.
Yes, I'm Dan McCoy,
I'm Michael Niederman.
and this is Whiskey Flicks Sips, our ongoing, unscripted, booze-infused deep dive into film. I have a clip that I've selected that I'm going to show to Mike. Mike does not know what I'm going to show him, and I don't know what he's going to say. We have both been drinking. For the next 5 minutes or so, Mike is going to talk about the movie or TV clip that I'm going to show him, and he's going to connect it to the world, our own lives, all while drinking delicious whiskey. Mike, why are we doing this?
I'm doing this because I miss the world. I'm doing this because movies have become the record of the world, whether it's period pieces or sci-fi. We're all living in the now. The before time, all we have are our memories or the movies, and that's what I'm going to be looking at today is our memories and my alcohol. So for this Quarantino version of Whiskey Flicks called Sips, I get one clip. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what the theme is or anything. I just got to make gold out of this.
And it's now in the chat.
This. Oh, too many things open on my computer. Oh, God, it's just messy.
Okay.
Burgess Meredith for the win. Oh, and he's reading. And we were talking about this today, Dan McCoy and I. Have you ever read David Copperfield? I was talking about the fact that I don't read enough anymore. And I blame the internet, I blame my phone, I blame everything. But I used to be this guy, completely obsessed with books and just words before I discovered screens. And that look right there that he just got, that was the look that we all got, all of us little bookworms when we were growing up. Wait, why aren't you interested in me telling you all about this story that's amazing?
I have a distinct memory of when I think I was like a freshman in high school, and I was really into Stephen King at the time, as
was
kids
I,
in the 80s were. And I remember sort of talking enthusiastically about a Stephen King book I was reading. I can't remember what it is. And some jerk-off turned to me and said, "You read?"
You read?
And that was the first time I'd ever really been shamed for reading. And it felt horrible.
As an English teacher, I often try to not say, I know you kids don't like reading. Here's a movie. Let's talk about the movie. I have had students say, Mr. Niederman, can't we just watch a movie and just like it? Why do we have to think about it?
You'll find yourself outdoors on a park bench reading from morning till night for want of having a job.
That doesn't sound that bad.
No, it really doesn't. And now we're living in a time when we kind of do have all the time in the world. Or so we're telling ourselves.
And yet,
what are we doing?
To quote Burgess Meredith at the end of this teleplay, it's not fair. We're living in the ultimate of ironies. We have all the time in the world, but instead of our glasses being broken, we're just living with unbearable anxiety about our future and our health and the world and all the things that we love in it. That even though we've been given these impenetrable vaults, which are our apartments, to sit and read forever. And I don't know about you, Dan. I mean, I do know about you, Dan. You're a friend of mine. I've been to your apartment. But I got all of these books, and this is like a 10th, not even a 12th, a 15th of my library.
Yeah.
A lot of these books Dan, How
Look
many
at this.
How many of those books have you not read?
And now I feel like I finally have the time to get through them.
How many books have you not read? How many books have you bought and bought and bought and bought? Because that's who we are. That's the kind of people we are. We want the things. We want the knowledge. We are theater makers, and we are conversationalists, gregarialists. But at the end of the day, we are librarians. And we want just to have and preserve the knowledge. How many of those books have you not touched?
I'm an aspirational reader.
This is like the library of
I buy I buy the books that I want to have read someday.
Yeah. This is like the library of Alexandria, just destroyed by humankind's cruelty and hubris. Time enough at last. And
I'm the happiest he's ever been.
We're gonna, because we know what this is. There we go. There we go. Burgess Meredith, Old Mickey, the Penguin. But this is it. A little pencil neck geek with Coke bottle glasses that wants to be left alone with his own mind and just wants to know things that won't hurt him. Daniel, sometimes I am not socially appropriate. You know that as well as anyone who call themselves my friend. And at a fundamental level, I'm trying so hard to be the better person in the room with other people, especially when other people aren't saying things that interest me, especially when the other people are talking when I want to be the one who is talking, because let's be honest, I'm in love with the sound of my own voice more than anything else. But the idea that we have to be good at other people, we have to be good at interaction, we have to be good socially, we have to learn how to listen. It's hard. And sometimes I just want to listen to myself. And why is that so bad? Dan, why is that so bad that I want to listen to myself? Because I'll tell you why it's so bad. Because we're the first friends that we ever had. Ourselves, ideally, if we like ourselves. And a lot of the times the shit that I'm doing is just to amuse my own self. And if someone else is amused by it, that's that much better. But I know I will laugh. I know I'll get the joke. Do you ever feel that way, Dan?
Finish the clip.
Time.
One of the greatest O. Henry endings that wasn't written by O. Henry.
I use this clip so often to literally teach irony to my students. It's not fair.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
If you had all the time in the world, what would you do with it?
I have all the time in the world now.
And what are you doing with it?
I mean, nothing that I feel like I should be doing with it. I'm writing some. I'm reading some. I'm doing new cooking projects some. I'm connecting with friends near and far. I've Skyped with friends in the Midwest and California and Europe. People that I would see once a year, if that. I've done that weekly now. So I feel like I'm checking in with the people who are important to me much more. But still, those are only hours when I have weeks and months. And I feel that so much of it is just whiling away the hours, trying not to feel.
I just missed a call from a friend of mine who just got through the coronavirus and is healing and is on the mend, and I'm going to call her back as soon as we're done recording this. But I just wanted to acknowledge that and say that, like the way that people are spending their time, a lot of folks out there is surviving this and not just enduring the boredom of avoiding it. I'm Dan McCoy.
I'm Michael Niederman. This has been
Whiskey Flicks Sips. We can't try to do it simultaneous. There's just no way to do it.
I know, but we can keep on trying.
Woo!
And McCoy, I love you. I'm still recording.
We have all the time in the world to get our outro right.
Yeah, we have nothing but time.
Freaks, geeks, dorks, dweebs, queers and queerdos, disenfranchised midnight marauders, and alien life forms hidden among us. Live from the basement of Giuseppina Valentino's Focacceria, I am your announcer and your band leader, Roberto Malcuore. And I'm gonna tell you this. Here is your steadfast captain of the night, your loyal Wu-Tang through your darkest hours, Pier Valentino!
My humble freaks, my gentle geeks, it's me, Pier Valentino, just engaging in a little apartment disco meditation. Before we do anything today, let's get some science news now from our friends Barry and Chet. I hope it's good news.
This is Barry reporting for this week in Science News Now. A week ago, the Planetary Defense Coordination Office identified asteroid 11S4 TT0R, a PHO, a potentially hazardous object. The PDCO had kept watchful eye on 11S4 TT0R, or Ishtar as nicknamed by NASA, but had anticipated it to miss us by a margin outside of any concern. That is, until an unpredicted collision with a 5-mile-wide island of floating trash altered Ishtar's trajectory and put her on a 30,000-mile-per-hour collision course with Earth. This past Friday, it was confirmed that Ishtar would indeed make impact, and that nothing could be done to deter or deflect the cataclysm to ensue. Let's turn it over to Chet to learn more about this space rock.
Thank you, Barry. Ishtar is 4 miles wide, and her impact at 30,000 miles per hour would be roughly the same as a 3 million megaton bomb. Having trouble wrapping your mind around 1 megaton, let alone 3 million? Look at it this way. If an asteroid the size of a 20-story building hit the Earth at 30,000 miles per hour, it would be the equivalent of the largest nuclear weapon that exists. Now, multiply that by about 60,000. No two asteroids are the same, Barry. And Ishtar is unique indeed. Shaped like a massive arrowhead and made of dense metals and rock, she is likely
to split us into multiple pieces
out of our orbit and into a collision course with other planets in the system. Back to you, Barry.
Science News Now.
Fantastic! Let's go see if Roberto has a song for us. Oh, the viewing audience loves you.
Put on some pants.
Roberto, to think that only 10 years ago you were just our neighborhood haberdasher and exterminator. You know, it means a lot to me that you decided to be here. You could have quarantined with your My mother, as some of you may know and love as a frequent guest on the show, she decided to spend the rest of her quarantine with my brother Angelo, who gave her 6 masculine children and her favorite hemorrhoid cushion. So there's that, which is fine. But you Roberto, you decided to be here. I can only imagine that that's difficult. I mean, I don't miss my brother's kids because they're little garbage humans, but yours, they're little angel humans, so it means a lot to me that you're here. Pier, you know, there is no place I would rather to be than here with you and my humble freaks and the gentle geeks. You know, I like to tell people sometimes, there is only one thing to which I am more loyal than to
Kill the bug, or to fix the hat,
or even to my family. And that is to Pier Valentino, another show without end. You flatter me. You flatter me. Sit down, you feisty thing. Roberto, I was thinking, why don't you share with us how you're feeling during these times, and maybe share a little ditty. Here I got the perfect song for you. I wrote it just for you, for this occasion, and it goes like this. When you know that you are gonna to die, makes it hard to know why you ever lived. Now that I know that I am going to die, now I wanted to live. I have to write it down. I have to write it down. I have to write it down. Once upon a time, I wanted to die. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. La la, la la, la. Why can't I ever be in love with this alive? I know that one day I'm about to die. I don't even care. Without you here, I can't go on living. I don't even miss my kids, because io ho bisogno di te. Io ho bisogno di te. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ma Pier, non può essere che tu sei fatto per me, che ha pensato questa felicità. Una volta dicevo, edimi per la gola, sparami in cervello. Prendo un sacco di pillole, mi sveglierò morto, invece di essere così per sempre. Pier, tu sei la mia persona favorita, non sono capace di essere senza di te. Because io ho bisogno di te. Io ho bisogno di te. That means I need you. Oh yeah. Roberto, what's wrong? You've become a much better guitar player. Maybe next time you could try some bar chords, or oh, Roberto, it's okay. What's wrong? I just want you to know that song, it meant so much to me that you wrote it, and that I just want you to know that io ho bisogno di te. Oh, Roberto, just breathe. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Hey, wait. Oh, Roberto, when you look at me like that, it's just. Oh, you mean right here on camera? While everybody... yeah. Roberto. Oh my God. Oh, Roberto. You going? Oh, Roberto! Roberto! Get it! Get it! Time for journal time. Folks, it's time to take that delicious pen and paper sitting by you and to take some of the thoughts up in your brain and put them down on that paper. That's right. We don't have the 45 minutes that we normally do to do silent journaling, but we can take a juicy 90 seconds to put down our innermost thoughts. Now, I'm playing a little music just to give you some inspiration, some motivation, some tonovation as you write. And when you hear the bell, just put pen to paper and don't stop. And when you hear the bell again, that's when you take that pen from that paper. And then you're left with what you did. I think this is going very well. Oh my God, is this going well? Pier, who cares if this is going well? Who's to say what is right or wrong or good or well anymore anyway? That didn't make me feel better at all. How the hell are people journaling right now? What do I even write about? I think I showered 2 days ago. What's the point of underwear? I bleached my avocados. I talked to a knot in the floorboards that looks a little bit like Jesus. Recently it started talking back. That makes me a little nervous, but it's also kind of exciting. Think about it this way, Pier. Maybe it was all over before it all began. Oh, that's dark. I'm not doing a good job at this. Journaling, you're so evil sometimes. Oh my God. I think I'm gonna barf in my esophagus. Oh, I barf a little bit in my esophagus. Breathe, Pier. Make it look like you're okay. Swallow that load. Good. Try to write something positive. I like things with maple syrup and with a crunchy texture. Sure, yeah, you gotta start somewhere. What else? I like pancakes. Okay, yeah, good, but something other than food now, okay? I like... Wow, that journal time had a lot of ups and downs for me, folks. I don't know about you, but did you write anything? I just ended up drawing a picture of a kitty. And now, here's Mr. Mouth to give us a tutorial on how to keep sanitizing sexy.
Hey, fuckers, it's fucking, Mr. Mouth fucking here. It's really fucking important that you fucking sanitize and wash yourselves thoroughly inside and fucking out. I'm gonna have Pier here make a little example. Pier, fucking lay it on me. Just give it to me, yeah. It's so, just give it a little more. Yeah, squeeze that fucking bottle. Go in from behind, you fucking fuck. Yes, go in my. Oh, I gotta return the favor, you fuck. Now make sure that you rinse your hands, but that you don't run the water for the whole 30 seconds. Okay? Save the fucking planet, you fucking waste people. Rinse me! Rinse me! I can't see paint my fucking eyes back on. Yeah, there. Oh, wait, you gotta do it. Yeah. I need a snack after that. I need you have anything with ginger in it? Ginger, ginger snap. Yeah. Ginger's got for here. Show without end.
When it happens to you, when it happens to me, amen, the shepherd
Hey, fuckers.
Thanks for joining us for Sofariety.